Hi, my name is Simona Fusco, and I'm the founder and CEO of Perfect 12, an award-winning matchmaking service based in Beverly Hills. And I'm here today with my co-host, Mark, and this is the Perfect 12 podcast. Today, we're going to talk about toxic masculinity. Is it real? Is it just like, a word people throw around? What do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to try not to be toxic during this podcast, but you'll have to let me know at the end of it. So from my perspective, I think toxic masculinity is bullshit. I think some of the guys that are labeled, they're just assholes. They're just assholes. So when you start labeling, I think it's dangerous to start labeling all men as toxic, whether, because they're being men. I mean, what is that telling boys? What's that telling people that don't have the experience that maybe I do and people my age and Gen X have? It's really a sad state of affairs to say, hey, you can't be masculine because that's toxic. I think that's dangerous, and we should shame the hell out of people that are doing it. What's nice is I think that that term is being flipped on the people that are using it. I don't hear it as much, but it's still out there, and I know people are still using it. My problem is that it's now been divided by political class. If you look at the statistics, 81% of Democrat males are using, say men are toxic, and only 30-something% of Republicans are. So this is not a political podcast, but oh my God, that's a big disparity.
You did not just bring politics into this.
Just briefly, yes. Does that make me toxic?
That makes you toxic. No, just kidding. No, I agree with you in the term that people are quick to jump to, oh, he's toxic. But I think, healthy leadership, a strong man, being a provider, being a protector, offering stability and consistency, that's all part of leadership. There's nothing toxic about that. I think that, a guy that's a jerk,
He's a jerk, though.
He's, an abusive human being, or he abuses his power, right? That's toxic masculinity. And I would hope that that's what most people are referring to.
Yes, but...
what are they referring to when they say toxic masculinity?
This behavior across all men is toxic, right? That's what they're referring to. Not just one guy being a jerk or an asshole. It's like I just remember I was laughing my ass off, but when somebody says, when a man spreads his legs on a train, right? Because that's toxic masculinity, because you're pushing people out of the space.
That's crazy.
Well, a lot of this is crazy. A lot of it is crazy. So I don't like the term. I don't like the impact it has on society.
100%.
I'll give you an example. You remember the white guy that accidentally choked a black guy on a train that was harassing a bunch of people, right? Mm-hmm. The guy was arrested for helping the rest of the passengers, and he went to jail for a long time. He was absolved of it. But you know the message that sends people? It's like men are not going to help anyone. And do we really want that as a society? I don't think so. Do you? Do you want, if you're being harassed on a train, that you don't want a guy to come help you because potentially he's going to be arrested and labeled toxic?
Actually, that's going on a lot, and it's really shocking because, you want a guy to be, like I said, a protector, and then they're kind of getting punished when they do step up and protect people. And I think that's also, it translates into dating because, guys are afraid, oh my God, should I even open the door for her?
Right.
Or should I pull out the chair? Or am I going to be judged that it's too toxic or too aggressive? Even telling a woman you're gorgeous and, I want to take her on a date and I'm going to take the lead and here's where we're going to go and I'm going to pick you up. It can be misconstrued as, oh my God, he's too aggressive. It's toxic. So it really has also affected, not changed completely, but affected the dating landscape. And like you said, also, when you're going out and about, especially with everything that's going on right now. I mean, just last week, a friend of mine who's an entertainment lawyer was assaulted in Brentwood by a homeless guy, the woman, and she was assaulted by a homeless guy. Nobody came up to her and helped her.
Well,
Everybody
why would
just
they
watched.
if he's going to be arrested?
Exactly, because they're just afraid. They're like, oh God, I don't want to be, what if there's a lawsuit, or what if it's just like, toxic, or it'll get spun the other way. So yeah, there's a lot to be said upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a shame. And I think the biggest impact is to our Gen Z generation, the boys that are watching all this take place. It's like, I can't be myself. I can't be a man because I'm going to be labeled toxic and society's going to shun me, or I'll get, canceled out there somehow. Nobody wants that. And look the impact of it. The people that come up with these terms, I don't think really think it through. They throw these terms out here and a bunch of influencers jump on it, and they don't realize what it's doing to society. But I blame what I call low T males and a lot of women that don't push back on this. They kind of accept it. They might not agree with it, but they kind of accept it and they stay quiet. I think we need to push back, not just on this term. There's other terms too, but on any term that would cause someone that would be impacted by that term to kind of change their behavior and not be who they are. Now, there's assholes and jerks. I'm not taking that away. I know that. I know. I've met a lot of them. Maybe I've been one a couple of times, but we can't let this become the rule of the land.
Well, I think we need to kind of lay on the table what is considered toxic masculinity.
I'd love to hear it.
And what isn't.
Yes, please.
So I think...
But the term toxic masculinity in itself says there are some traits that are spread out over masculinity. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
So, okay, so let's if a man is dating multiple women.
Yeah. Is that toxic?
But if he's lying that he's dating multiple women.
But then he's a liar.
But does that make him toxic or
No.
not? It just makes him a liar.
Makes him a liar, and if he's not telling them that he's doing that, it makes him a liar.
Okay.
Why is that toxic, though? Tell me the toxic part of it.
Well, I think that a liar is a toxic human being because you're affecting people
If you lie
negatively.
one time, you're toxic?
But he's lying to multiple women at the same time, telling them all.
I think it's toxic behavior, maybe. You
Right,
could probably
okay.
get away with that, but when you label all masculinity toxic because of that one behavior, that's where my problem is.
I beg to differ. I think it's toxic.
Well, tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, I think that if you're lying, that's
One guy's lying, yeah.
toxic behavior. You need to be honest with people and say, I'm not ready to be exclusive. I'm not expecting you to be exclusive either. And, I'm dating.
I think toxic is more like men as a group are telling women you can't have credit cards or a mortgage, or you can't, you don't belong in this area because you're a woman. I would give you that. That's not happening in today's world, but I would give you that. But
that's just chauvinistic.
Okay, chauvinistic.
Right.
Fine. But one-offs, it could be toxic behavior. I guess it's toxic. I think he's just lying. Why are we upping the labels to go from?
Okay, so let me ask you
what's next?
this.
Nuclear?
So-
What are we going to do next?
So let me ask you. So if a woman
Yeah.
is dating multiple guys, when she's telling the guy,
like you.
"Oh, you're the only, you're the only one. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anyone else." Would you not think that that's toxic? Or would you just
I
say
would think
she's not?
she's a liar, and
a
I would
liar.
walk away.
Okay. Well,
That would be me.
I think, like you said earlier, you said you would potentially think it's a toxic behavior, and a toxic behavior doesn't make a person toxic.
Toxic to me is like you're really ruining somebody. You're purposely cutting them out of either society as a whole, or you're doing it to an individual. Like you're really poisoning them.
So you're saying it's an accumulation of behavior traits that make you toxic, not just one or the other.
I mean, when you say toxic masculinity, that means you're saying there's traits within man, like general traits within man that are toxic to society. And I disagree with that 100%. You could say, I give you this, that a behavior is toxic because it's really poisoning somebody.
It's hurting someone, yes.
It's hurting somebody. But we all hurt people.
But when you're intentionally hurting someone.
Even then, some people want revenge, but when it's a pattern of it, this is who that person is. But why are you labeling all of masculinity toxic when it's just one guy being a fucking asshole?
Oh, no, totally agree with you. I'm not saying everyone is toxic because this one guy is doing something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, would you consider that person toxic?
I just, the word's so strong, and now you're just what are you gonna do? Go from there? You're gonna go.
So you're saying if it's a pattern of things, then that person would be toxic.
It's not toxic masculinity. It's a toxic man. That's what it is.
Right. Okay.
So
Fair enough.
by labeling toxic masculinity, you're telling all boys that this is who you are. You hurt women. You poison them. You're this, you're that because of this type of behavior. I call bullshit. And I'm in a position where I could do it not to have no repercussions, but I call bullshit on all that.
Yeah,
I think it's bad for society, bad for men, and we're seeing it play out.
Exactly. And I think that's also why so many men don't even approach women anymore. I mean, like, I see this so much. I mean, even going out myself with my friends, men are afraid to approach you because they're afraid. They really are.
Call them out or say something or contact a staff and say, this man's harassed me when he's just trying to talk to you.
Exactly. It's sexual harassment.
Right,
you know, so yeah, that's a huge thing too. I mean, look, you shouldn't do it in the workplace. There's a saying, don't where you eat. So, there's something.
Only on Jumbotrons. That's the exception.
Exactly. Oh my God, don't get me started. That's wild. But yeah, I mean, that's really dampens the dating landscape too. But guys are really scared to approach women even out and about now.
Yeah. And part of that is because of this whole toxic masculinity thing. And I think we as a culture should shun it instead of sitting back and accepting it. A lot of us have boys as kids. My son's not going to be raised in that environment. And I'll push back very strongly, and I've had stern words with him. This is, anyone says that to you, you have my permission to push back as hard as you want.
So it's important that we can, determine what's the difference between somebody that's just an a-hole and somebody that's toxic.
Yeah. Well, for me, my definition is this person is purposely trying to poison someone or a group of people with their lies, their gaslighting.
Manipulation.
They're really trying to poison people over the long haul. One time, I can tell you, everyone has tried to hurt somebody one time. It's got to be a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
That's a toxic man.
Like
it's
abusing.
not toxic masculinity. Stop labeling all women are crazy. You've heard that, right?
Right, yeah.
That's wrong. And we should not be saying stuff like that because that plays out in, my daughter's head, for example, and she's not crazy. Right? And yes, there are crazy women, but labeling all women crazy is wrong. And I won't stand for that either.
Well, I think we can agree that, there has to be people shouldn't throw out labels so quickly, and that's in general, right?
Yeah. It's a heuristic, and it's so wrong on so many levels. But we as society are accepting them. We should push back.
It's social media, like you said.
Push back in the comments.
Influencers.
Let them know this is not acceptable.
We're gonna push back. What do you think? What do you think about toxic masculinity? What makes somebody a toxic man versus an a-hole? Let us know in the comments. And if you're a toxic man or you're an a-hole, do not call my service.
Otherwise,
call his. Otherwise, I would love to help you find your perfect 12, somebody who's not toxic.